What's up, everybody? I haven't done a live call-in show in a while. I was bored, just sitting at home. I said, why not? Why not do a live call-in show? I think it's a great time. James Williams, an elite 5-star recruit, just committed to the University of Miami by surprise last night. What better way to celebrate this by doing a live call-in show, having people call in the show, doing it live on the fly so we can all talk about this, because this really is a special moment, I believe, in Miami Hurricanes recruiting moving forward. We all believed in the offseason changes Manny Diaz did with the offensive coordinator with Rhett Lashlee, bringing in Rob Likens, new offensive line coach with Garin Justice. But what he's done recruiting-wise as well, regardless of the transfer portal, to get James Williams, we weren't even in his top 3, and to land him, huge news, man. This is huge. Why not celebrate this with a live call-in show, guys? 919-647-4716. And thank you, everyone that is joining. Welcome to Paul Scoop on the U. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, it's RC the 305. How you doing, Paul?
Hey, man. How you doing today?
Fantastic. How about the last couple of days here?
Oh, man. It's been. I'm still in shock. It really hasn't hit me. I thought we were going to go down to the wire with James Williams. And just to get him over Georgia, who's done an outstanding job under Kirby Smart. I mean, this is huge.
I think you have to really place a lot of emphasis on the departure of James Coley from Georgia.
That's a great point.
As it's going to impact what they call our kids the Disney kids.
Right.
That end up going up there. And I think you also have to weigh the impact of the new legislation that's going to allow these kids to get paid starting with this 2021 class. So when you look at those two factors, I think it's going to make even more sense for these kids that are always debated between us and Georgia to really look at staying home and capitalizing on opportunities here, especially without having someone like James Coley, who's done a great job of kindling those relationships and developing them.
Absolutely.
I think that's a major loss for him.
No, I completely agree. The image likeness bill that was signed at the University of Miami is huge. And I know for a fact the football program is pushing that hard on recruits. I mean, think you can potentially make a lot of money in the city of Miami off of your image likeness. Compared to other programs, you cannot do that. That may be the future of college football. So that is an outstanding point. Absolutely. This could be, a deciding factor as well.
Well, it opens the door for kids to say, listen, I've got to maximize, and I'm going to call it the LeBron James mentality. You've got to control a narrative. You've got to maximize your opportunities. And in South Florida, there's so much money, international money.
Right.
There's so much money going on.
Absolutely.
So many businesses that the opportunities are endless. So why do I have to relocate when I can stay here, play a very competitive schedule, which will then happen because when there's more quality players, our schedule gets harder.
Absolutely.
And play in front of this crowd day in and day, every Saturday to come down, and you've got 50,000, 60,000, and you're making money, and you didn't have to leave mom and dad. It's a great opportunity. It's almost like a no-brainer in many ways.
And you're playing in it.
It comes down to one thing.
Yeah.
Am I going to get better?
Right.
You're going to develop me. Because iron sharpens iron, but you've got to teach me. And I think this is a challenge now for Manny. If you're able to keep this class intact and add a couple of more studs that stay home, what are you doing on the field? How are they getting better? And you've got to make sure that the teaching that's going on improves as well. And I hate to point that out to everybody, but everything has to align. And if it doesn't, you got a kink in the armor once again.
100%. And I think we do have developers on staff. I'm really excited about our offensive staff. I think we must maintain that group of coaches that we have. Now, our defensive staff, I know there's a big debate with Coach Mike Rump. Everyone's 50-50 on him. Either you love him or you don't want him anymore on the staff. I think Coach Banda's done an outstanding job. And How about Telly Lockett, Benedict Hippolyte as well, man? Those are key recruiters. I mean, Telly Lockett has a great resume. I mean, that was a great hire. So I'm really excited.
When Telly first went to Oregon State, and
Yeah.
That kid, well, he's not a kid anymore, but he's always been one of those young coaches that teaching and coaching wise, there was tons of room for growth, no doubt. But the ability to relate to kids and to create bonds with kids, I mean, he's done a phenomenal job every place he's gone, and he's been able to get kids to come. So I think having the resources to have guys like that on staff,
right,
major advantage that Mandy is cashing in on. But you mentioned Mike Rumph. I will say this: of all the teachers, if you've ever been to a practice, of all those guys that I've seen coach there in the last 10 years, he's one of the best teachers I've ever seen.
And a lot of people do, yeah. A lot of people do praise him. Close to the program.
He's not going to kiss your ass to come to Miami. That's just not. He's an old school game like Ed is, and he's not going to kiss your ass to come here. He's not going to give you all the love. He's not going to shower you with all the attention. That's not his MO. But do you want to get better?
Right.
He'll get you ready for the next level. And I think we've seen that with the limited talent we've had at corner. He's been able to do a nice job of developing kids.
If he lands Jason Marshall Jr., I mean, that would be huge. Tremendous. Because we hasn't really had, in winning football at Miami, he's had to recruit against a lot of tough competition without a good kind of resume, to show other schools like, hey, we went 10-3 under Mark Richt. You know what I mean? Other schools are like, we just went 11-1.
How many corners did you put in the draft in the first round this year? All those questions are
right.
Questions that always that our competition is always going to point out to our kids here locally.
Exactly.
But in terms of developing this, you've got a guy in Mike Rumph that if he wanted to, he's had the opportunity to go coach in the NFL. And that's just not where he wants to be. He wants to be here, raising his kids, being here in Miami, his alma mater, and he loves it here. And he's able to flourish here teaching-wise. But recruiting-wise, that's just not him.
Right.
And if you look at some of the great stats Ohio State had, Penn State had back in the day, there was always that one coach that nobody kind of liked, but everybody knew he made you better.
Right.
You want to play for him, but once you get there, you realize how much better he's going to make it, prepare you for the next level. He's that guy for us, unfortunately. But the Hippolytes of the world and the other guys, man, they're making up for it. And like you mentioned, Coach Banda, not bad for a bartender, huh?
Hey, he's done an outstanding job, man. RC305, I got to let you go. But thank you so much for calling, man. Definitely. RC305 just called in. Man, I really am excited about this staff. Coach Fields and Coach Banda are right now top 10, I believe, according to 247 Sports nationally. When was the last time Miami, in the modern day recruiting era, has had two coaches in the top 10? This is really a special time at Miami. Thank you for calling Paul Scoop on the U. Who am I speaking with? Who's this? Oh, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good.
Hey, so I first off, it's unfortunate we're not going to be playing Michigan State. I was really looking forward to that game. And I first want to say Mel Tucker has tremendous potential. I think he's a great coach. He's a hell of a defensive coordinator. So I think you have a great coach with you.
Yes, he is. And did tell you that he did very, I mean, you can't argue that. But I think if Michigan State, Miami, they might be in recruiting battles for the next couple of seasons.
I don't know, because you see, here's the thing with Michigan State. They don't primarily recruit a lot in South Florida history-wise. Neither did Colorado under Mel Tucker. I think they're going to stay within that region. There's a lot of talent in Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania. I think they're going to stick with their guns. You got to keep that local connection going. So I don't think Michigan, I could be wrong. Minnesota's in South Florida. Penn State is as well. So you could be right. You could be right. I mean, Michigan State could be a sleeping giant. I completely agree.
I just did my Clemson video. They're going to go 7-5.
I don't think it's going to be the year Michigan State dominates. I think it's a rebuilding year. It might take 3 years, but I think Mel Tucker's going to get the ball rolling. I really am. I like him a lot.
2, 3, yep.
So
I think Clemson might go 7-5 or 9-3.
yeah, I say 10-2. Trevor Lawrence, he didn't have a good season last year. He got shut down in the second half against LSU. Against UNC, he didn't look that good as well. I still think he's a very good quarterback. I think he'll definitely have a decent career in the NFL. He'll get his chance, but we'll see. Clemson, changing of offensive coordinators. They still have Brett Venables, but you never know what could happen.
I have Miami, Florida State, UNC, and the Citadel beating Clemson.
Oh wow, the Citadel.
Yep.
You never know. You never know with college football. MSU, number 1. I gotta let you go, but thank you so much for calling. I got someone calling in right now. Thank you very much.
Yep.
I appreciate your support. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, guys. Don Estelle, $10 donation. Thank you so much, sir. Has it been confirmed that the season will be conference only yet? Nothing has been confirmed. West Virginia, Florida State. They want to play in a non-neutral site. They plan on playing in, I think it's the Atlanta, their new stadium, the Atlanta Falcons play in. I could be wrong. Kind of that Chick-fil-A preseason game. There's like 3 of them. But that's a good matchup if it does happen, but nothing is confirmed. These are just ideas being brought out. There's going to be a lot of modifications when the season comes. I can guarantee you that. A lot of, people have already spoken with the ACC stating, hey, why don't we just have 5 teams play a 2 home game series as well? I don't like the idea personally, playing the same team twice. It's kind of like the NFL schedule per se. That could impact a lot of games this upcoming season. So you never know what could happen moving forward. Then there was a rumor or something that the ACC and SEC wanted to schedule their non-conference games. So a lot could be on the table. I know there's a lot of money on the line, but ultimately I do think we will have a season. I just don't know when and what modifications will occur throughout the season, whether it's fans, whether it's scheduling as well. So I don't know, guys, but just want to say thank you everyone for joining the show. I greatly appreciate it, man. What a great time it is to be a Miami Hurricane. It's always great to be a Miami Hurricane, but past couple of days, it just feels really nice, man. It's a lot of positive energy we haven't had in the program in quite a while, man. Because after that Louisiana Tech loss, the program was really down, and then we flip a couple recruits such as Jalen Knighton, Isaiah Dunson. We get Isaiah Walker, De'Ara King. We kill in the transfer portal, bring in Andres Borregales. I think it's Andy just committed today, locked up his commitment. That was huge because UNC was pushing hard. Andres is a brother, so huge news, man. Number 1 kicker in the nation, locking up his recruitment with Miami. Hopefully he kills it as well. And by the way, guys, with the Palmetto 5, do you think we'll land all 5? I want to hear from you guys. Corey Collier making his announcement early August with Leonard Taylor as well. Thomas Davis also making an announcement coming up. So there's a lot of exciting decisions to be made moving forward. So I really am excited with recruiting. You never know. Maybe we'll get a surprise commitment that we haven't spoken about. I don't know. You never know. Jake Garcia, it's been very quiet. A lot of people say that he's not in play anymore. I don't know. We still don't have a quarterback commit this class. So we may even enter the transfer portal. Just be patient. And we got De'Ara King, and we were very patient. So I truly believe the transfer portal is the new free agency of college football. But love to hear your thoughts, guys. 919-647-4716. Call in. Love to talk some Canes football with you guys. Let me see some of the comments real quick. I like Taylor and Marshall Smith. I don't think we get all 5. Thank you for calling Paul Scoop on the U. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, this is Brent Nelson from Dallas, Texas.
How you doing, Mr. Nelson? How's everything?
Hey, it's going great. I just wanted to call, and I wanted to personally thank you for everything that you do, keeping us fans up to date. I love your videos. They're straight to the point. They're informative, and they're just getting better and better as we as we move along.
I greatly appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. It's little baby steps, man, and that's what I'm here for. To keep you guys up to date because everyone's busy. Everyone's got their own schedule. So I mean, I'm really grateful, man, that you just said that. So thank you so much.
Thank you for what you do. And, I don't really have a specific question other than when we have our regular season, what do you think the best case scenario for Miami would be? Like a 9-4 season, 10-3 season? I don't expect us to go 11-2 or 12-0 or anything like that.
Right.
But, being that we finished 6-7 last season and sort of sputtered out at the end of the season before, what do you think like a realistic goal would be? Would it be a 10-3 or 9-4 season?
Yeah, I think 10-3 is a realistic goal. Looking at this schedule, we do match up talent-wise with every team. There's not really a team that, is over talented than us. So I do think a 10-3, season prediction could work out well. I think we can make it to the ACC title game. Now, beating Clemson, I think that's a stretch. Clemson's a very good team. I'm still very worried about our cornerback group. It's very slim numbers wise. So I think winning 9 games, losing 3, I think that's very realistic, and winning a bowl game. So potentially going 10-3. So
Absolutely. I agree, and I think it's critically important when you just finish strong. I feel like Miami, we always start out strong, and then the last few games we either lose or it just doesn't look like we just need to finish strong, I think. So I won't keep you on the line, but I just wanted to get your opinion on that, and I wanted to say thank you, and I'll continue to support you, as I'm sure most of us on here will do, and keep up the great work.
appreciate it, Brent. Thank you so much for watching, man. I hope you have a blessed day. Brent Nelson, very kind words from Brent. Had a great question, too. What is realistic for Miami this upcoming season? Let's win a bowl game. We don't win a lot of bowl games. We celebrated the Russell Athletic Bowl game like it was the Super Bowl. Thank you for calling Paul Scoop on the U. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, how's it going, Paul?
How you doing today, sir?
All right, doing much, man. You're doing good content, good quality content. I enjoy your show, so as the other caller said, keep up the good work.
Thank you so much, man. I greatly appreciate it.
So I just wanted to kind of get your opinion here.
Yeah.
I know we're known for the transfer portal, but do you think we abuse it more than anything? You think that can kind of affect us in a recruiting standpoint? Because I know that this cornerback from Georgia, he recently entered the transfer portal, and I kind of feel that we could use him, I don't know his eligibility. I don't know if he has 3 years left or anything. So if we're going after a guy like Jason Marshall and some quarterbacks like Marquise Brown or anything else, do you feel that it should be where we kind of reserve these slots because we're limited on scholarships? Because I feel that we're taking advantage of the transfer portal, but I feel that it would be sometime it would kind of backfire.
Right. No, definitely. The transfer portal, potentially does take up spots in your recruiting class. That was one of the things with Devod Wilson. A lot of people are saying, hey, Miami, if there was room, to bring him on, they would, but there's no room. They want to reserve spots for Jason Marshall Jr., even Markevius Brown as well. I think he's out of IMG Academy, 4-star cornerback, who is very interested in Miami. So the transfer portal, the way I see it, is if it's an emergency mode. It's fight or flight mode. Miami, Manny Diaz acknowledged that the quarterback position was in a fight or flight situation. He needed to win now. So that's why he went to De'Aaron King. Just having more depth at the defensive end position was just an advantage. So, I trust the staff and how they utilize the portal. There's also that argument that Oklahoma had 3 transfer portal quarterbacks that all did amazing. And then Spencer Rattler was the number 1 quarterback in the nation, and they landed him as well. So I think, honestly, if you're winning football games, they will come from everywhere. That's the way I see it, and it never hurts to have too much talent. So, I don't think necessarily it will make other players not want to come to Miami? Because if Miami's winning national titles left and right, and it's the place to be, I think people want to be a part of that, even if we are utilizing the transfer portal. So that's my opinion on it. But
any other any recent updates on the two targets we have? Sapp out of St. Thomas, and also I know he kind of changed his top five, or he's put Miami.
Oh yeah. That is right. Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard anything. I think Miami, making his top five is great. There's also Mason Smith, defensive tackle out of Louisiana. With this James Williams commitment, watch out. Miami could pick up a lot of steam. So I think.
Is there a commitment date for Jason Marshall?
No, he has not announced a date at all.
Okay, what do you think our chances are with him?
I think we're in a very good position. Before the Jason Williams commitment, I thought it was a stretch, but the fact that Miami was in his top five, I thought, we made up for a lot of ground, and we're in a good position. But I'll tell you what, I don't think he goes to Florida. I think it's Alabama or Miami.
Okay.
That's the way I see it.
Man, great show, great content as always, man. Keep up to you, and appreciate you taking my call.
Thank you very much, sir, for calling in, and have a safe and blessed night.
Same to you, Paul.
All righty. Appreciate it. How do you guys feel about the transfer portal? Do you guys like the idea of utilizing it as a free agency pool? Like that caller just asked, was a very good question as well. Do you think recruits would be scared off from coming to Miami? Personally, I think if you win, they will come. Look at Spencer Rattler. He went to Oklahoma, and they took Jalen Hurts as well. He's the number one quarterback in the nation, and he committed. They even told him he would start, and they wouldn't bring in transfer QBs, and he's still at Oklahoma. So that's the way I see it. If you win, they will come. Like if you build it, they will come. So that's just my opinion on the transfer portal. I love how Manny Diaz was ahead of the game a little bit compared to other programs. Because Mark Richt, I mean, he would never utilize the transfer portal, So I do appreciate Manny Diaz and being ahead of his time, pushing that image likeness bill. He did have the governor of Florida sign it at the University of Miami compared to other programs. He did not sign it at Florida State. To have it at Miami, sign the bill, and to push that. And you're going to make a lot more money with that bill being played in Miami compared to small markets such as Tallahassee and Gainesville. The city of Miami, it's the largest city in the state of Florida. I think the second largest city is Orlando. So maybe Miami and UCF will, thrive with that bill in play. Schools such as Florida State, Florida, not so much. And when Miami does well, the whole world, either you love Miami or hate Miami, but the ratings are huge when Miami's on TV. So, hey, I think it's a great situation Miami is in moving forward. And I think recruits are starting to acknowledge that they can actually make a really good income throughout their college years in the near future. Yeah, so Stacy, great question. How did Miami only move up one spot? Now, I did some math. I calculated it. If Miami does get Corey Collier, Leonard Taylor, Jason Marshall Jr., they're going to be top 3 in the nation. So I don't know the stats behind it per se, but I did add those recruits to the 247 calculations to the University of Miami class. If they do land Leonard Taylor, Corey Collier, Jason Marshall Jr., throw in a Brashard Smith, for example, they will jump to top 3 in the nation, and that is huge. I think it's like Tennessee, Alabama, and then another school. But for Miami to be top 3 in the nation, wow. It really is surreal. So, once again, man, this staff is just killing it. It really is. Now, do you guys see a similar situation with Randy Shannon and Manny Diaz? Look at that comparison. Both were defensive coordinators, very good defensive coordinators. Randy Shannon was a great DC. Had the number 1 recruiting class as well. Got a bunch of players from Miami Northwestern and Booker T. Washington. The recruiting was outstanding. Even had Patrick Peterson committed to the class, and then he did a late flip to LSU. Are there any comparisons there? I see a lot of differences. I think we have a much stronger staff as a whole. Remember, Randy Shannon did not have a budget. It was a very low budget. You know, he was not given a lot of resources during his time at the University of Miami. So, you know, Manny Diaz, you know, he does have a lot bigger budget than Randy Shannon. So, and a stronger staff as well because of those resources. So I think that's ultimately the biggest difference. Coach Fields is the number 4 recruiter in the nation, and Coach Banda is top 10 in the nation right now. I haven't seen this in Miami in the modern day of recruiting. So outstanding job. $1 donation from TF2ST Raccoon. Thank you so much, man. I greatly appreciate your donation. Guys, call in 919-647-4716. Let's talk some recruiting. Let's talk about Manny Diaz. Let's talk about the season. Guys, this is I'm just still in shock. We landed James Williams. This is amazing. You know, enjoy this. Enjoy the momentum. We have De'Ara King under center, a great quarterback who honestly, I mean, I think he's going to be a star this season. Welcome to Paul Scoop on the U. Who am I speaking with?
What's up, bro? It's Rashad from Miami.
Rashad, how you doing today, man?
Doing good, man. I feel like we just got a 5-star.
Oh, man. It's great to be a Miami Hurricane, man. What can I say?
Yeah, you the king of the offseason. Like, you gotta do it, like, on the field. You gotta like, win games.
100%. Right, because Manny still, man, you know, game decision making. He's, you know, it's still unknown how he is as a game day coach.
Right.
So that's really. Wait, go ahead.
Yeah. Often I trust the coordinators now. Though. I think Blake Baker is at least average, and I think Red Lash is going to be elite.
Yeah, no, yeah,
pretty good season.
Absolutely. You know, we have a Broyles Award semifinalist as our OC. I haven't seen that at Miami in a while. We have Blake Baker, who, I mean, Manny Diaz was the defensive coordinator. He's not going to let that defense, you know, go away. That, you know, he created that monster on the defensive side of the football. He's not going to let Blake Baker ruin it. So he's going to help with Blake Baker 24/7 with that defense. No doubt about it.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask, out of everybody from the Palmetto 5, if you could only have one of them to commit, who would it be?
Jason Marshall Jr., because when he steps on campus from day one, the cornerback room is already better. And that's talent I haven't seen at the cornerback position in decades.
You think he would like a day one starter?
Yes.
Okay.
He's that good. I mean, personally, I would love to have Avonte Williams slide down to play out in the boundary, because I don't think any receiver in the ACC Coastal matches up with his skill set. I think he can be very successful, but I don't know if that will ever happen. But I would love to see that freshman year just to help us out, because we're that lacking in numbers, you know?
Yeah. That safety rotation in 2 years between Avonte, James Williams, Cam Kitchens, that's going to be crazy.
It's going to be insane. And just the fact getting Cameron Kitchens on board, and then we had Brian Balaam, Keyshawn Washington. It really is insane, you know, the amount of talent we have there. So
it's looking pretty good. But I'm going to let you go, though, man.
All right, appreciate it, Rashad. Thank you so much for calling, man. Have a safe and blessed night. Peace. Guys, how about this, man? When was the last time we saw this amount of depth at the safety position unit? I mean, this depth matches up talent-wise with any school across the nation. Bubba Bolden, Gervin Hall, Avonte Williams. Then we got Cameron Kitchens, James Williams, Amari Carter. I mean, it's insane the amount of talent we're going to be having there. I mean, we're finally having that depth at certain positions that we've been lacking for so long. Defensive end is just stacked. Jahvari Harvey supposedly runs a 4.5 40. I mean, it's exciting. There's a lot of exciting times moving forward. But, you know, as Rashad said, man, you know, Manny Diaz as a game day head coach, it is still unknown. Will he make the right decisions during the games? We'll see. Thank you for calling. Paul Scoop on the U. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, what's up, Paul? This is good from the dub.
Hey, how you doing, man? What's up?
Everything is good, man. I was just, you know, like you, I was excited about the whole, you know, coming from James Williams. I wanted to know, like, what were you actually doing at the time that, you know, the news broke out and you found out that James Williams was condensed to University of Miami.
Yeah, I was actually taking a walk. I was like a block away from my house, and I saw on Twitter someone said, "Hey, James Williams committed." And it's like nowadays you got to check, 2 or 3, accounts, because there's always those parody fake accounts, and then it's all false. And then when I saw that he actually officially tweeted out, I like sprinted home, and I was like, I got to talk about this. So I wasn't shocked. It really like didn't even hit me.
Right. Definitely. Me too. Yeah, like honestly, I feel like he's definitely going to set the tone, and a lot of kids down here, they're going to just follow behind him. Honestly, I have like several amount of questions, but how do you feel about that 3-star defensive end, Daryl Jackson, that's committed to Tennessee, I believe?
Daryl Jackson. I haven't heard that name before. Where is he from?
Where is he from? Havana, Gadsden County.
Okay.
6'5", 5'5", 258-pound defensive end. He's committed to Tennessee, I believe.
Okay. Wow. I mean, numbers wise, that does match up to the Power 5 level, so he is committed to Tennessee, and they're doing an outstanding job recruiting. Defensive end, I don't know if they've called it a wrap. I don't know what's going on with Thomas Davis. Seems like Florida State's pushing, but I think Thomas Davis will play defensive end at the next level, not outside linebacker. So that was Miami's priority. I don't know if he does look the other way, maybe they will go to Daryl Jackson.
Right, most definitely. He sounds kind of more promising. Thomas Davis, he's like, what, 6 feet, 6'5".
Right.
He's very athletic, but when it comes to this guy, Daryl Jackson, he looks like a beast. We have a lot of 6'5" guys, like Ishmael and, all of those guys. It's crazy how the defensive side is going to look for the years to come.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Jahvari Harvey, Jalen Phillips. I mean, those two guys, it's going to be scary, in the future. So it really is exciting.
Right, most definitely, Paul. I've seen that you joined one of the Miami Hurricanes groups on Facebook. I thought it was cool, man. It was nice to interact with you.
Oh yeah, man, appreciate it. Yeah, I'm trying to reach all every social media platform, man, because we're all a family. So definitely love talking Canes football with everyone.
Right. I was like, yeah, that's kind of wise, because I haven't seen any other the YouTubers that have been on it. So
okay.
That was very
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Yeah, just trying to, anyone who doesn't have time to, to look things up, to read about things, I got you covered, in a quick, short manner. So I greatly appreciate your support, man.
No problem. When it comes to while you're on YouTube right now, try to put the phone on speaker, because you can't really hear the caller with the colors saying.
Gotcha.
But I just want to chime in, and I appreciate speaking to you. I've established many over there tonight, all right?
Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. I'll get that fixed. Alrighty. Thank you. Have a blessed night. All right. Hard to hear what the caller is saying, so we got to get that fixed, obviously. I'll try to fix it up now. But man, a lot of people are excited around the program right now. What's going on. I love it. I really do. I know last year there was a lot of negativity, which is fine. Criticalness, that's completely fine. We lost to Louisiana Tech and FIU, so I completely understand that perspective. Why people were upset. But hey, I love to see the positivity. Thank you for calling Paul Scoop on the U. Who am I speaking with? Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Great content, man. Just started watching not too long ago.
Hey, appreciate it, man.
No problem. Die-hard Hurricane fan. I'm one of the fans that when we lose, I couldn't sleep.
Right. Yeah.
I had to get used to this losing. But when we was hot, man, we lose one game. It was a bad week for me. But what do you think about the fact that these kids now? Well, two questions. One is these kids now want to put on for their city, which is their theme. And
right.
Two, you got to respect the fact of how Manny Diaz approached
offseason with the first big move, which was firing Dan Enos. A lot of times when you deal with coaches, they get into the let's trust the process period. Well, Dan Enos came in and pretty much lied and said he was going to run this type of offense, which he did.
Right.
But you got to give it to Manny and say, hey man, you tip your hat off to him because he realized we need to go in the direction, and Dan Enos wasn't that guy. So what do you think about those two things?
The hiring of Dan Enos, I think Manny got fooled. Dan Enos kind of sold that Alabama, kind of, he came from Alabama. He just coached Jalen Hurts, Tua Tagovailoa. Manny got starstruck. I bet you he even said, hey, I can land you Jalen Hurts. I wouldn't be surprised if that was his pitch. Obviously, Manny saw Dan Enos at Arkansas. I don't know what Manny saw differently, in a sense, because he ran a lot of scripted plays at Arkansas. His offense I like his offense, but once he runs out of scripted plays, if it's kind of gets ugly from there. Yeah, and if you don't have the right personnel, it's not going to work out with Dan Enos' offense. So that's what happened at Miami.
Yeah. So do you like the move that he made, Manny, as far as realizing he had some holes within the team and moving forward? If you look at the history of many programs, they stick into that theory where let's trust the process. This guy only been here.
Right.
Give him some time. We don't have that time, because if he would have gave Dan Enos the time, one, we wouldn't have the recruits that we were potentially getting right now, and two, we wouldn't have the steam that we have right now, because the fact that we had a horrible season and nothing was done about it. Only thing we came back with was let's trust the process.
Right.
That's a saying in many programs that you hear, especially when you have first year coaches, whether it's head coaches, assistant coaches, or what have you. Anytime you hear that, it's like, let's give them time. But right now, we don't have that.
Right.
We don't have that time. We need it now. We need
exactly
a direction. We were a team, especially on offense, where you had the Mark Richt. When Mark Richt looked good, he looked good. And Enos looked consistently bad. So therefore, we didn't have time to waste on this guy. So I love the fact that Manny Diaz went out and made a tough decision, a decision that many coaches would not have made, a decision that he had to do it, and he struck within a matter of time to where that he showed everybody in the world, listen, I'm trying to get us back on top, and I know if I don't, my job won't be on line.
100%.
So I hang up and listen.
Appreciate it, man.
But at the same time, yeah, no problem. But the recruiting, I think, for me, last topic, but the recruiting, I think, for Miami, I think we are going to land many of the guys that from the Palmetto, maybe four. I think four of them. Reason why I think that the theme put on for my city, I think it's something internal.
Okay.
We don't know the magnitude. We don't know the magnitude of it with the players. But if you look at the tweet that James Williams put out, towards the end of it, he said, "I'm gonna rep my city till I die." And that's strong words coming from a teenager, but it's effective too, to where that it can breathe down to the next tier of players that can make a commitment and realize, hey, we're from the same spot.
Right.
You know what I mean? We can join together, and then we can take down those quote unquote Goliaths that's been in our way. Why don't we do it together? And I think we're gonna land Marshall. I think we're gonna land Taylor. You know what I mean? I think we got the Northwest, and we're gonna get most of the Palmetto. Maybe not. Maybe one of them we might not get. And I think that's the Savion College guy.
Right. Yeah.
Because I think our interest is maybe we can probably get maybe another 5-star with the guy out of Louisiana, or even the guy Sapp out of St. Thomas. But I think that they have some kind of network that they're working on themselves with this thing put on for my city, or made my city great again. And I think it's going to parallel something real crazy with our numbers with the recruiting, because we're going to come into a situation where we're going to have a lot of talent, but our numbers going to get in our way. So I hang up and listen to what you got to say.
I appreciate it, man. Hey, have a blessed night.
No problem. You too, have a blessed night.
That's an interesting point, guys. Those tweets, hashtags, does it mean something bigger? One thing I will say, Rivals did come out with an article saying the University of Miami coaching staff was no longer in contact with Savion Collins. A lot of people, did tweet out a long time ago that expect someone to leave the class. It seemed like all indications seemed like even with 247 Sports, even had a crystal ball, I believe, Savion Collins going to Florida. Is that still going to happen? Will Savion Collins leave? I don't know. We'll find out, but it did seem like that. And the Dan Enos fire turned out very well. It was huge. Look at the difference the program is at in recruiting after Dan Enos leaves. The offensive coordinator we bring in, Rhett Lashley, the offense of our prayers. So it's been a really good hire and fire. Fire and hire, whatever. Chug Mo Beer, $50 donation. Thank you so much, man. It means the world to me for your donation, sir. So thank you very much, man. Great content, man. These new additions to the UM staff this year are really good coaches and better recruiters. Miami has the Northwestern 4, very true, and they're now working on the Palmetto 5. Jay Williams is a great commit, and I think there are more to come. Absolutely. Man, thank you so much for your donation, all your support, Chug Mo Beer, man. It really does mean the world to me. And yes, this is a huge, huge commitment. I just hope people realize the magnitude of it in recruiting in the sense because, man, to get an elite 5-star recruit, we've missed on the safety position. We've missed out tremendously over the past few years. I mean, Patrick Surtain, Tyson Campbell, for example, Jerry Jeudy. Those are all guys that we lost to Alabama. We've lost players to LSU, to Georgia in the past. I mean, just got, those are the type of players that will, change your program. Program changers that you need them to make a big play down the line throughout the season. Those are the guys who will make those plays and make a difference moving forward. So it really is nice, man, to land the 5-star, talented recruit. I know a lot of people wanted Justin Flo. He goes to Oregon, plays that silly game with us, but it's all good, man. We got James Williams. We got Avonte Williams. Things are really looking good for this program. We got Cameron Kitchens, Romello Brinson. So I really am excited, man. Chug Mo Beer, thank you so much, man, for the $50 donation. It really does mean a lot to me. 919-647-4716. Call in. Let's talk some Canes football. I'd love to hear your opinion, your comments, what you think regarding, our Miami Hurricanes football program. We got 18 minutes left to do a 1-hour call-in show. I want to mention you guys tomorrow night, Miami Hurricanes After Dark, episode 2 will be releasing around the midnight time. If you love Canes football, uncensored, unfiltered talk about our University of Miami football program, you want to be a part of it, it's for the fans. Message me on Twitter or message North Fresh Cane as well. My Twitter handle is PaulScoop1 or, message me here if you are interested. Would love to have you on. Thank you for calling Paul Scoop on the U. Who am I speaking with? How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good. How you doing? Great show.
Thank you so much for the kind words, man. I greatly appreciate it. It's a grind right now, but having these big news moments really makes things a lot funner.
Well, I just would like to say two things. One, if we don't win, all that's committed will kind of fall apart because if we don't win, nothing's binding till National Signing Day.
Very true.
Looks good, but if the field we don't produce, and I got to be honest with you, I think the weak link is Manny. He doesn't seem like a character builder. And last year he lost the team. He didn't discipline kids that needed it.
That's a good point.
And kids talk and kids see this, and if they think they can get away with it, they're going to. And if one player gets away with one thing and another player another thing, I think it's really a shame because I think we got a great staff. The weak link is Manny.
That's a great point. Cleveland Reed did leave the team, and he was welcomed back with open arms. Tate Martell, I mean, he was not even a part of the team for like the whole second half of the season. What was going on there? I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things that go on internally. So I agree. He did lose the locker room. We did lose to FIU, Louisiana Tech, in a sense, he did lose the locker room. You are right. But at the same time, we got to remember he is a first-year head coach, and he is learning on the job every day.
I can give you that, but learning on the job is one thing, but being, let's just say, a man of character, then you're able to build character with other people and players. And what I saw on the field and some of the players talking back to coaches, I forget the kid's name, the transfer from Virginia Tech. But he
Trayvon Hill.
Yeah, I mean, he just disrespected the coaches on the sideline, the kid that's dancing on the sideline when we're getting murdered by FIU. You don't have to have experience as a head coach to that stuff just cannot go on. I mean, Butch Davis, when he was here, he didn't have a lot of experience as a head coach, but he ran the show, and they knew he ran the show. And I just think, unfortunately, we're going to have a lot of talent, and I just think we have the wrong great recruiter, great defensive mind, but some people just aren't made to lead in that fashion. And unfortunately, I hope I'm wrong, but I think that's Manny.
Hey, we'll find out. No one's right until the end of his time at Miami is over. So, hey, you could be completely right, and a lot of people could be completely wrong. That's the beauty of sports. We don't know what's going to happen.
I hope I'm wrong.
And I agree with the recruiting. We need to have a strong season. If it's a circus show like last year, this whole class will fall apart. No doubt about it.
Love your show. Have a great night.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Have a safe and blessed night. Do you guys think if Miami does not have a good season, mediocre, average season, this class jumps ship like we've seen in past years? Miami leads the state of Florida, probably in college football, with the amount of decommits we have gotten. I mean, it's a stupid number. We've lost 3 decommits all going to the same school 1 year. 3 of them all went to Florida. Brian Edwards, Randy Russell, CJ Henderson in less than a week. So if we have a mediocre average season, does everyone jump ship? That's a great point. Very good point. Do you guys think Manny is still the right guy at Miami, or time will tell with the season? I think he's still learning on the job. He is a first-year head coach. Second year per se, first time at a new Power 5 school. He was the Temple head coach for 48 hours, literally. So, this is the beginning stages of Manny Diaz's coaching career. Remember, Ed Orgeron did awful at Ole Miss, and then, a few years later, gets a couple interim head coaching opportunities and gets the job at LSU, and the rest is history. Hires Joe Brady. Worked out very well. Time will tell. Absolutely right, Richard Hill. 919-647-4716. Call in. We got 13 minutes left with our 1 hour talk show. 106 people on the live show right now watching. I greatly appreciate it, guys. This was done on the fly, out of excitement, out of just pure joy, man. James Williams, 5-star recruit coming to the University of Miami, man. Great time to be a Miami Hurricane. It's always great to be a Miami Hurricane, but it's been really rough the past 15 to 18 years. It really has been, with small moments of joy. So when we get small moments, let's be happy. We can never relive the past because it already happened. But man, we can get excited about the future. Welcome to Paul's Scoop on the U. Who am I speaking with? What's up, Ian, man? How you doing? Good, man. Thanks for calling in, bro. I haven't even heard from you in a while. I mean, through the comments, yes, but, not talking. So greatly appreciate it. Yeah, man. So what's up?
I want to ask you about the Thad Franklin.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. Okay, here's the thing with Thad Franklin. The staff, Eric Hickson's done an outstanding job locking down recruits because Don Chaney was getting, bait from Georgia. Georgia was on his tail, so he could have easily flipped to Georgia. Coach Hickson grabs Jalen Knighton and keeps Don Chaney from Georgia with the circus of the season. Thad Franklin has been getting a lot of push from Penn State, from Florida. A lot of, the staff was afraid he was going to flip to Florida, SEC school. Now Florida State. I think he just does it for attention. honestly. But if he does ultimately end up flipping, that's fine, man. We'll take Amari Daniels in no time. I know there's a lot of crystal balls of him going to Texas A&M right now, but I will take a local guy from Miami Central Senior High School. By all means, the running back position, depth-wise, is completely fine. We have 2 freshmen and 1 junior, and we have, if Thad Franklin does flip, we're going to bring in Amari Daniels. So if he chooses to flip, man, I mean, more power to him, but I'm not worried about it. And I think, we may lose him or we may not. I don't know. I really don't. If I had to call it today, I think he'll stay. And then, I don't really even see him moving forward. How much playing time will he get in the future at Miami? I don't know. So,
I think we should take Amari Daniels anyways, like even if that's
just as insurance, absolutely.
Damon Harris leaves, and Robert Burns is like, what is he, a redshirt junior? And then we'd only have Don and Jalen anyways, stuff like that. Like he could transfer, you never know. He's already wishy-washy about it.
Right, absolutely. So I mean, hey, Amari Daniels, I think he can be very good at the next level with this offense. So we'll see what happens. Oh, yeah, he's very fast. I like Rashard Smith as well, wide receiver. Undersized guys are not the tallest guys in the world, but, with this offense, they can be very successful. So,
yeah, also, I want to ask you, how many do you think we're going to get out of the Palmetto 5?
4 out of 5. I think Savion Collins leaves the class. I don't think he's going to stay in the class. I think Jason Marshall Jr. will be a Miami Hurricane. I hope so. But I think he stays. I think Leonard Taylor, maybe Corey Collier. I don't know, because we have a lot of safeties. Does he come on board as well? We have a lot of safeties. We already have 2 in this class, so 3. I don't know.
I mean, if he wants to compete and get better,
right? Exactly. And I don't know. I think we changed positions with a lot of these safeties. Coach Bandit did say we're going to play the best 5 guys in the backfield, so you may possibly see 3 safeties in the backfield. That is a possibility.
We got a lot of guys who play striker too.
Oh yeah, we have tons of guys. And that's definitely a position that's being discussed about to get early snaps. I can see James Williams lining up at a lot of positions.
Yeah. And do you think we're gonna get Devon Wilson?
No, I don't think so. I don't think there's room for the class. I think they rather reserve it for guys like Markevius Brown and Jason Marshall Jr. I think those 2 are the priority. And then if it doesn't work out, they'll go after Devon Wilson. And then Jaden Francois wants to come back to Miami, but I don't think it's going to happen either.
I don't want him
back. I don't think the staff does either.
Yeah. That would just send a message like we're just letting anybody that wants to come back. Like.
Right. So, hey,
right.
We'll see what happens.
All
right, Ian, I greatly appreciate your call, man. Have a safe and blessed night.
Let me come on.
Anytime, man. Peace.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Man, Jason Marshall Jr. will change the cornerback room from day one. He's that good. He's the most talented quarterback we've gotten in quite a while that I can think of off the top of my head. Maybe Artie Burns was the last one. Tracy Howard as well. But, man, Jason Marshall Jr. is now in play with Miami. You tell me this a month ago, I'm like, man, no shot. No chance. Man, things have changed. And you never know. We could possibly land maybe a surprise, highly touted recruit. I'm not going to say names, but you just never know when recruiting. The past is the past. Maybe people make peace. And both parties do agree on some things. And, we could surprise a lot of people in recruiting. Maybe we'll finish with a very good nationally ranked class, a ranking that we haven't seen in a while at Miami. So 6 minutes left for the show, guys. Going to keep it for an hour. 919-647-4716. May have time for 2 calls, maybe 1 call. Depends on time. But we got 6 minutes left. Marcus Tate, Mason Smith, those would be icing on the cake additions to come to this program. Mason Smith, a lot of people are high on him, man. Defensive tackle out of Louisiana. Surprised that Miami made his finalist list, so look out for that. No, I think it's a long shot. He's in Louisiana. I think we're killing it with local recruits in the South Florida area. going all the way to Louisiana. LSU just won the national title. Alabama's right there. I mean, it really is a dogfight for Mason Smith, an out-of-state recruit. If we land him, wow. I mean, watch out. I mean, seriously. I mean, out-of-state 5-star defensive tackle. I mean, that would be surreal. I haven't seen that in a while, Miami landing those type of guys. So just look out for that. Yeah, I do expect him to go to LSU. I mean, they just won the national title. He's from Louisiana. Just makes sense. 5 minutes left. 919-647-4716. Manny showed who he was with the yacht intro. Be humble and go to work. I do agree. I think Manny is learning to be more humble. He was humbled in the sense, he did lose to Mac Brown, Dan Mullen. He worked for those guys. Dan Mullen was was the head coach at Mississippi State. Mac Brown fired him after a year at Texas. So, he has been humbled in the past. I think Texas, and then getting sent all the way down to Middle Tennessee State, Louisiana Tech, to the bottom from the elite Power 5 level. So, hey, Manny has been humbled, and you're going to be continued humbled in life. That's just a part of life. So, hey, one thing about Manny, he is a quick learner. I'll give him that. He worked his way up, got a nice job at Mississippi State, and got a job at Miami. Now he's the head coach at Miami. So I'll give him that. Hopefully he learns quicker on this job and we can win some football games. 4 minutes left. Got time for one more call, guys. 919-647-4716. Last call of the night. Who's it going to be, guys? Feel free to call in. If we somehow land Mason Smith and we know someone is using hypnosis on these recruits, I think it's the image likeness bill. I really do think it's making a big impact in the state of recruiting. I really do think that. Marshall starts day one, absolutely. Marquise Maxwell. No, that's a fake recruit, guys. Marquise Maxwell is not a legit recruit. That's some fish parody account. Catfish account, they call it. I don't know. That's not legit. So Marquise Maxwell, that's not real. Just completely ignore that. Lee, greatly appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for the kind words. No, Marquise Maxwell is a fake recruit. That was a parody account. I saw it. I looked him up on 247 Sports. It's completely fake. So just please ignore that by all means. No, Bubba Baxa leaving. I mean, that was a huge, in a sense, departure for the program. I mean, hey, 4 out of 10 in high school, did an awful job kicking. Coaches said they were not worried about the stats. I think they were worried in the season. So, Bubba Baxa leaving, bringing in the Borregales brothers who just locked up his commitment, Andy, and then we have Andres as well. So, hey, we'll see what happens. Thank you, Chris. I greatly appreciate it, man. All right. I got 1 more minute and I'll wrap it up, guys. If someone wants to call, by all means. I got 120 people. Give you guys a quick update of what's going on this week. Miami Hurricanes Football After Dark premieres episode 2 going down at midnight. Will be uploaded and recorded. We'll be talking some recruiting, more recruiting, and image likeness bill. We'll be going over a lot of things, so definitely look out for that, guys. We'll be dropping tomorrow night. Thank you to everyone that was a part of this show, that called in, that watched, that commented, that donated. I cannot do this without you guys. This channel would not be where it is today because of your support. Thank you so much, man. 120 people on right now, even if it's 5, 4 people, 10 people, 8. I don't care how many people are on. Thank you. Just taking the time out of your night to join this show, this live show. Thank you so much, guys. I hope everyone has a safe and blessed night. And always, all about the you.